What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pilg, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi. Now, today we're going to be talking about the new heroic trial that literally just dropped last night. And I know the first question you're going to ask, and I'll go ahead and cover it now. Which unit should you acquire from the exchange? Now, this might be my opinion. This might be a hot take on my part, in fact. I think both of these units are kind of bad, frankly. They're all really old. They don't really do anything that I've ever found useful for a modern team. So to me, I would say definitely farm this up. Remember, you could only get one of these units. You could only get one Jade Light. That means you're only getting one of those. But it doesn't really matter to me because I'm going to sell mine for Dolb. 100%. This is the rare situation where you actually can farm Dolb. And I think it's worthwhile in this situation. Dolb, remember, after you accrue 10 of those, you can get a Prism Bond for an adventure, or 15, you can get a Prism Bond for an assist. So I think in this situation, that is the predominant value here. I don't know why they dropped this heroic trial. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but yeah, I'm not going to turn down free Dolb, 100%. Now, if you do feel like maybe you can find some value in them, I'll go ahead and cover what each unit does. So let's go ahead and just pull up just the Lili units and just the Mikoto units. I'm really bad about finding Mikoto in here because I don't remember where she's at. Is she toward the bottom? I don't remember. That's too far down. I passed her like 6 times now. That's all right. There she is. She's at the top. Duh. So, first things first. It is, I believe, this Lili, Faithful Lili. Okay, Faithful Lili, high dark physical attack with temporary strength boost and ultra critical rate. Meh, and it's a foe singular. I don't know about you. I'm probably never going to use that in Record Buster ever. Swarm control, fast, Dex plus 30%, which is nice. Foes strength and magic and Dex down 30%, which isn't bad, but definitely is outclassed in today's realm of the game. And then skill 3 is a foe's plural, high dark physical attack with temporary strength boost, Autorun counter rate, physical resist and magic resist, fire, water, thunder, earth, wind, dark, and light, all down 30%. All down 3 turns. So, I just don't know if I'd ever honestly use this unit. Her SA, if you must know, ultra dark physical attack with temporary strength boost, high penetration rate, Dex down 50%, and allies Dex plus 50%. I mean, it's good. I think that's the highest Dex in the game, but it just ain't for me, personally. Now, Mikoto, okay, Super Fire Magic Attack, foe singular again. Super Fire Magic Attack with temporary magic, is that her SA? Yeah, no, that's her skill 1. Super Fire Magic Attack, damage 35% per each target's magic resistance, magic reduction skill. That's only going to come out to be about 70%. We have way better boosts in the game at this point. Foes, plural, fast, strength, magic, physical, strength, magic, physical resist, and magic resist, and fire resist, down 25%. I think that's the best we have for all those stats. But honestly, you're going to do better with 2 units that do all this independently. Or 3 units, or whatever it comes out to be. Skill 3, fast, high fire magic attack, with ultra uncounter rate and status buff plus 3 turns. That's handy, but only so handy. I don't think I'm ever honestly going to use her. I could see some uses, but not enough to make me want to, really go crazy for this unit. You know what I mean? SA is an ultra fire magic attack with temporary magic boost, high penetration rate, and guard rate down 50%, allies counter rate plus 50%. This is where I say these units are just kind of okay at best. If you're new at the game and you're really looking for units to do something like that, great. But for me, I think they're really just going to go into Dolb, to be completely honest. But that's not the primary thing I really wanted to discuss about Heroic Trial today. Remember, Heroic Trial just recently got Skill Flow. This means we can now farm Skill Flow more efficiently than ever before. In fact, you could probably do it in the hour if you've got a team half as good as mine, honestly. So I went ahead and I set up skill flow, but let's go ahead and jump into a fight here and talk about this. Now, you can use light or water here. So if we go here, Mikoto is deficient 20% to physical. So most of my units are physical. I do have a magic unit here, but most of my units are physical. She's down 20% to water, but I've gone ahead and debuffed her light resistance as well, so she'll be kind of sort of down there. Lili, on the other hand, is down now 40% to light because I debuffed light and still physical. So you really do want physical units. Whether you use water or light is not going to make a huge difference. I just think my light team's a tiny bit stronger than my water team, so that's the team I'm going to use. Though I am using a water unit here, you'll see why I'm using her in just a moment. So first things first, I'm going to come out of the gate with skill 1 with Haruhime, skill 2 with Lili. Now remember, Lili is going to leave on turn 2 and then, leave at the end of turn 1, and then in will come Reverie on turn 2. Lili is going to go ahead and start her buff, and so is Anya. All right, Lego. I'm just going to let them do their thing here. Now, they do have strength and magic buffed, so I can get rid of that a number of ways, but for me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start by targeting Mikoto with... I take that back. I am going to target Lili, because my goal here is to wipe Lili out pretty quick. So I'm going to go ahead and use Anya's. I always get the two of them confused. I know, not physically, but the names. They're just too damn close. So I'm going to use her skill 3. Now, normally I'd use her skill 2 as a debuff, but I'm going to use her skill 3 to get rid of the strength and magic buff on Lili. And that way, we're not going to take as much damage. We'll take some damage, but not as much. Okay, with everybody else, we're just going to kind of continue our general buff stack. We're going to go ahead and start healing with Haruhime, and with Reverie, I'm going to go ahead and do the 100% SA gauge charge. So here we go. Nice. Okay, so we took a little bit of damage there, but because only one unit is now buffed, we're not going to take an insane amount of damage. Now I can go back in and I can do my debuff with Anya and kind of move on and do the damage we need to do. Finally, in comes Lina. Now, Lina is my magic unit. She is buffed. She is going to do a great job here, so I'm not really worried about it. And because Lili is the weakest, I can now focus on basically getting rid of her. In fact, yeah, let's go ahead and just kind of take her down a peg on this turn, and then I'll show you kind of where I'm going with all this. Now, I am going to kind of do Sheikah on this turn to try to get a little bit more damage out of my units. So, let's go. Now, Mikoto's hits are going to hurt. They're going to hurt a lot. They're not going to feel great. But I'm at the stage right now where Lili's debuffed. She's good. I could start hitting Mikoto, but I really am kind of working my way up to something here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to doing skill 3 with Anya. I'm going to go ahead and do skill 3. I'm going to go ahead and... why is she doing skill 1 there? She should have done skill 1 last turn. Oh, no, that's right. Sorry. I got confused. This Lili has to rebuff because she has the extra turn, so she'll do skill 1 here. And then we're going to do skill 2. That's going to be a big debuff with Lina, and then... with Haruhime, we're going to go back to skill 3 to kind of do our buff replications and our heals. Let's go. Now, you'll see what I'm building up to here in just a second. And, of course, Lili died. So we're not going to get the S clear out of this. In fact, this isn't going to work out the way I anticipated. So the way I'm running this is a tiny bit of a gamble. You can... in theory, use Lafolia, the new Lafolia, in place of Lili here, and it's going to wipe out the strength and magic buff on everybody. For me personally, I haven't had this problem much yet, so getting rid of, you could also use Anya to get rid of Mikoto's buff, but kind of been gambling on this, and it didn't work out too well in this run, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. I'm building my skill flow, so let's just proceed. If I don't get the S clear here, I'm going to get the S clear elsewhere. So let's just keep going. Okay? Now, she's dead, and I can go ahead and do a double SA with Lina and with Haruhime. Now remember, Lina will get rid of her buff when she does her skill 3, which she did last turn. But that just gets rid of her magic buff. Haruhime is going to give her a magic buff, so we can use her SA. Her SA is going to hit stupid hard, Everybody else just going to kind of do their thing. Let's go. Now, unfortunately, Lili is dead, so we're going to be losing out a little bit of damage here, but you'll already see we're going to beat this pretty quickly. Bam. Okay. All right, and now we can do skill 3 on this turn, and let's go. Now, this probably would have been a turn 6 finish had Lili been alive, but you know, we are where we are right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more time. I actually will need to do her skill 1 to rebuff her, but whatever, she did anyway. Would have been a lot more convenient with Lili, but it's a thing. It's a real easy farm now. So now what I can do is I can actually go back in here and I can save the skill flow. Now I do like the skill flow I already have saved. I'll show you what I did here. I actually have pretty much everything already set up to do what we need to do with both Lili and all that. So the only thing that I would change is what she does after her SA. So skill 3, and then we do 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then I just save that. We're pretty much good to go. Haruhime never really did Sheikah, I don't believe. Yeah, so I've heard set up to do 1 and then 3 across the board. So I'll go ahead and change 3 to 2, and then just keep giving us 3s after that. And she'll be good to go. So now I've got a skill flow saved. So we're good to go there. So what I can do now, let's go back in here, and I can actually play again, and I can auto-run this. Now the downside to auto-running is I have no control over who they're targeting, but they're still going to do their runs. They're still going to do everything normally. So long as we don't have any kind of RNG silliness, we should, in theory, be fine. I emphasize, so long as that one situation doesn't happen that happened last time around. And Reverie got targeted. But I'm not worried about that. I mean, I'm not going to get the S-Clear here, but I mean, I've already got the S-Clear. If I really want to like focus on that, I can mess with it a little bit and go get it. But now, I can farm this like never before. I'm literally farming the EX missions. Why did Lili die again? That is weird. She's not cooperating by any stretch of the imagination. Lili, get up! Get up, girl! She's doing her best Goblin Slayer impression. It is what it is. Now, the downside to this is, yes, they're not going to target Mikoto on this one. That is the downside. With Lili dead, that does mean I'm not going to get what I wanted out of this. They are going to definitely target Lili, and it's basically a wasted turn. It is what it is. That is the downside to auto-running this. But to be fair, I already got my S-Clear. I'm not really worried about it. Lili is an acceptable loss. Once again, if I had Lefoli on here, she'd be doing just fine, and we would finish this pretty quickly. So if you want to play it a little bit safer, you can do that option. But I absolutely love the fact that we can now set up skill flow and let this go. So while this isn't going to be a great finish, thanks to Lili dying, who cares? It's as quick as it needs to be. It would have been half that time if Lili had stayed alive, but it's as quick as it needs to be. It gets the job done. I can actually set up to do more essays later on if I could figure out when those happen. And literally, let's try this one more time. Third time lucky, right? Lili, stay alive this time, girl. She's not going to. She's going to croak. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's because I'm recording. All my runs off record, she was fine. Whenever you're recording, it's just like RNG is like, let's show them the worst possible scenario. Could we not? Well, we're going to. Thanks. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. I don't like it one bit. See, there she goes. It is what it is. For the sake of this video, I probably should have thrown Lefoli on there, but whatever. Whatever. You kind of get the idea. The problem is with the Lefoli on here, there's no way that they can beat Lili before the essays come up. So it's kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't for your auto run. So neither here nor there. You kind of get the idea, guys. That is pretty much the gist of it. You can now farm the EX missions if you've got a team that's anywhere near this good. Also, apparently, I need to put some better armor on Lili or something. I don't know what she's lacking. But you don't need any real ailments in there's no ailments in this. There's nothing to really do, so just put your best armor on your units. Hope they don't do what Lili's doing here, and even if they do, like, who cares? It's a farm. I'm going to be fine. I could walk away from this and let it go. So you could now literally auto-run EX missions. How awesome is that? Skill flow is just so great for the lazy player like myself. That's a Rogue Trial, guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments section down below. I'm going to go do an auto run off screen to prove that Lili can work to myself. Nobody else, because she wasn't in the mood. Like, comment, share. I'll be back with you guys with more Danmachi really soon.